Welcome back. So it's been a while since I last filmed those few videos. We're gonna ignore that, and as far as you're concerned, it didn't happen. But I definitely couldn't ignore the fact of now my hair is red and it was not beforehand. So thought I'd address the elephant in the room, and we're gonna move past it like it never happened. And so for this video, we're picking up from the Epcot day, traveling over to Universal's hotels, and then day one doing a park hopper between Universal Orlando, Florida, and Islands of Adventure. Isles of Adventure? Don't quote me. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get into it. I will be honest, I don't remember because I haven't edited the video yet where I left off on the Epcot day, but we finished up around like 4 or 5 at Epcot after we ate, got our stuff, and then took an Uber over to Universal. So we checked in probably closer to 6 or 7, give or take. And when we checked in, we didn't realize Universal used paper tickets still. So we were like, hey, like, great for our hotel keys, but like, where are our tickets? And so we had to go to the guest services area, if I remember what it's called. Like I said, I've never been to Universal before this, so I don't remember all the names and stuff for things. And so we had to go over there afterwards, grab our physical tickets and our express passes that we had bought for Universal. And so that was definitely interesting, for lack of better words, because I'm so used to everything being digital and on my phone, whether it's a movie ticket, whether it's going to Disney or whatever else have you. So that was definitely new for me to actually have a physical ticket that I have to hold on to. And for Universal, you have to have your hotel key along with you to get into the early entry. Once again, different from Disney with the magic bands. I'm pointing over here because that's where my magic band is currently sitting. And so definitely an adjustment change. But for the rest of the night, we had just spent the night chilling out in the hotel because it was a very long day walking all around Epcot. Can't speak, mixing the words up. Epcot, and then coming back and spending the evening. So then from there, we slept, got up early the next day for early park entry, which is the nice thing about staying on site for either of the parks that you go to. So we took the bus over to the Universal Orlando. And what's interesting about Universal versus Disney, their version of like Disney Springs is all in the same area as their various parks, except for the new park that came in. So we were able to go through one security, which was cool. From there, walk through their version. I think it's the boardwalk. Don't quote me. Something. Walk through that, walk through all of their stores, and then get into the parks themselves. Update, it is City Walk, not Boardwalk. And we started on Islands of Adventure. They had an earlier start time, and so we wanted to start there, start our day in the Harry Potter area, and kind of bounce around those like park before the other park opened up. I think it was like 30 minutes to an hour after the original park opened up. Don't quote me. And something else that was also interesting, even though you have the early admission, not all rides are included in the early admission. So they don't have them up and running for whatever reason. And as I mentioned, we did get the express tickets for that. I don't think we could have done Universal park hopping in one day otherwise. And same goes for the Epic Day. Don't think it could have been possible to do it all in the 2-day span that we were there for unless we spent the money for it. It was more pricey up front than Disney was, but what was nice about it was you got one free pass into any of the rides, and so that was really cool. And one thing we did to kind of like gamify it that we kind of like picked up a couple of like rides into our first day. The secret is when you go in early, go in the morning, jump in the regular line when there's not many people because they were there from the hotel and stuff, and then go through it And then when you come back to it later in the day, if you like the ride, you can use your express pass then. So that's how we were able to do some of our favorite rides twice. We made the mistake with Hagrid's ride. We jumped in, used our express lane first because we just didn't even know. And so we paid for that later in the evening, but I'll get into that when that time comes. So we started our day in Island Adventure, went straight to Hogsmeade in the Harry Potter section of it, and that was super cool to walk into it, getting to see the whole layout. I'll attach some clips here now. And our first priority was to jump on the rides. There were 2 or 3 Harry Potter rides. As I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video, Hagrid's ride was our favorite ride. It was like the motor coaster ride, if I remember the name right. Ton of fun. Then we did Flight of the Hippogriff and then ended on Forbidden Journey before going around and getting some breakfast. We ate breakfast at the Three Broomsticks. I got a traditional English breakfast. I think my husband got pancakes or waffles. Don't quote me. And then we got our first butterbeer of the day. Very good. We started off with a cold butterbeer. Highly recommend butterbeer while you're there. From there, we went to Ollivander's to do the wand experience where you get to sit around. They pick someone out random and then they get a wand picked for them. So that was a cool thing to witness. I was not picked, but I did get a wand. And you just saw the video clips from me unboxing it and stuff, but here it is. Super happy. We did get the interactive one because whipping at Universal and stuff, I figured it would just be worth the money to do. We were only going there for the first time, so why not get a wand and stuff? So I'm just gonna set that right there for now. And then from there, we went through more of the stores, picked up a couple of things. So I wound up getting this sweatshirt and then my headband. I don't know if I got a clip of that, but hopefully I'll show that here soon. From there, we went to the Dr. Seuss World, did a few of those rides. And then we were going to do the Jurassic Park ride, but they had closed down randomly, so we wound up making the not so smart choice of going on a couple water rides, not knowing how, for lack of better words, wet they were going to be. One wasn't as bad as the other, but the other one got you head to toe soaked. And we should have had a warning when we went by, and there were stand-up dryers for people. That should have been our warning. That should have been a red flag of, hey, maybe not, because while the weather was warm for December, it wasn't warm enough to fully dry off. You live, you learn. It was a ton of fun. At this point in the time, it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock. We decided to make the train ride over to Universal Orlando, the original park, I think is where it started. And you can only use the train if you have a park hopper, which is, I get, because the whole point of the train is that it takes you to and from each park and between the Harry Potter areas, but still, dumb. And so the train was such a cool experience. I didn't record anything inside of the train because they requested not to have any videos. But just know it is immersive. The train cars are just like how they are in the movie. So that was really cool to witness and experience. After the train ride, we did Escape from Gringotts, which was a ton of fun. A lot of the rides at Universal use their screens and like motion simulation, which I thought was cool and different. And then there's also the option of like the coasters and things like that as well. So it was nice to have a change from the Disney like swing of things. Then we had lunch at the Leaky Cauldron, and we had our first hot butterbeer at this point. And I'll get to it eventually, but we had cold, hot, and then a frozen one. Of the three, hot was the best. It was the most flavorful, followed by the frozen, followed by the regular like just iced butterbeer. And so if you're going, I would either do the frozen or hot depending on like what time of day you're at, how hot or cold it is. And if you're willing to do it in the middle of the summer, get the hot one. Highly recommend. And we tried going back to the regular one after the fact, and it just wasn't the same as the hot or frozen one. So once we did that, we just went back and had that. After we were content with exploring Harry Potter, the Diagon Alley, and everything, we went and did a Simpson ride. Can't remember the name of it. From there, we did the couple Minion rides that they had a ton of fun with those. Then we did E.T.'s ride. It's a little bit like older. I don't know how many of the kids actually knew of E.T. and that's kind of like felt my bones ache saying that, but it was really cool. Like you were in a bike and you were floating through the sky and stuff. So I thought that was a cool concept for a ride. So very much enjoyed. After that, we returned to Diagon Alley and then played with the wand some more. We went to the Nocturne Alley as well. Super cool. Love the vibe change. I don't think we did any more shopping at this point. Went back over to Hogsmeade. We wanted to do Hagrid's ride one more time before we left. And so we waited in line for 2 hours for this ride. And we didn't realize before going in that they had a late night experience that day, similar to how Disney does. And you have to buy your tickets well in advance, and the tickets were like $200 or $300 each. And I was like, okay, what really would we do at this point? Because at this point we had ridden the rides we wanted to a couple of times other than Hagrid's. We had gone through both parks in a timely manner. We were done going through all of the parks and stuff around 5 is when we decided to wait in line. And so we just decided it wasn't worth it. We'll just leave when we're done with this ride, because 2 hours from 5, the park would have closed at 7. So we had enough time to jump on the ride and go. Little did we know, the ride would break in the middle of us waiting in line. My feet were killing me at this point, because mind you, it's day 5 of jumping around from park to park. This is our 5th amusement park on top of going to Disney Springs. We were tired. So throughout the time of us waiting and stuff, people wound up leaving in front of us. So we got to move ahead fairly quickly. And so we didn't get off the ride until about 7:40 after the doors closed. And when I tell you they are so serious about the close time, they would not let us go see Hogwarts lit up. And so that was a little disappointing. Do I blame them? No. Would it have killed them to let me see the castle for 2 seconds after waiting in a line for over 2.5, 3 hours? You live, you learn. And next time we'll plan out our trip a little bit better because we would have gotten an extra hour if we had gone and flipped our days. But neither here nor there. We had a good time. And so right now I'll attach some clips of us walking out of the park. Once again, super pretty, super cool, going through it at night and stuff. And because we were waiting in line so long, we never had dinner. So we walked out of the parks and into the city walk. We were trying to find an area that wasn't too crowded, too busy or anything, because crowds of people were leaving the park at the same time. Like, so many people were either walking the city walk or leaving the park because they also got off the rides around the same time frame as us. So we wound up stopping at Bubba Gump Shrimp afterwards. I got a really good shrimp linguine. I think my husband got a burger. 80% sure. And we wound up hanging out, having a really good meal, and then heading back to the hotel afterwards, and we were spent. So we got ready for bed and went to bed. And so I hope you enjoyed, what is it, day 5? Day 5, we'll say, of my Disney Universal adventure. Tune in tomorrow for the next one where I go over Epic Universe. Spoiler alert, I think it was my favorite day of the whole week. Stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.